Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I transformed my body. Now before we get started with this video, I just want to show you guys my before and after because I want to show you guys where I started versus where I am now to show you guys that these things that I'm actually going to say have really worked for me. I'm not necessarily saying that this 100% will work for you because yes, everybody's different, but I just want to show you guys that this actually did work for me and it didn't just like waste my time. So this is how I looked a few months ago and this is how I look now. So I have my notebook here and basically I just wrote down everything that I want to talk about in this video because there are a lot of things that I want to talk about because in my case I was not, one of those people that was like, oh, it's just genetics, or I just drank more water. Like, that is not how I transform my body. Sadly, it took a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of discipline, a lot of, staying consistent. And I feel like that's how it is for a lot of people. So there's definitely a lot that I want to talk about. So I have everything wrote down so I don't forget anything. So the first thing that I want to talk about is diet. How you eat is very, very important, and I don't think people know how important this is because it's very, very important. Yes, I'm not trying to say that you can never eat unhealthy stuff. Like, you can still eat sugary stuff, you can still eat the refined carbs, but you have to do it in moderation. So follow basically an 80-20 diet, which is what I do, where 80% of the time you eat healthy and then 20% of the time you eat like unhealthy stuff. Because it doesn't matter what workouts you do. You could have the best form, the best personal trainer, could go to the best gym. It doesn't matter. If your diet's bad, then you're not gonna look as good. And it's actually funny because I have been doing the same workouts for a long time. A long time. Like, in my before picture, I was doing the same workouts that I do now. One of the main things that I changed, though, was my diet. So this really comes to show that your diet is very important. Also, this is kind of similar, but protein is really important. I really want to talk about protein as well because a lot of people think like, oh, you don't, like, protein's not that important. Like, it's good, but it's not that important. But it really is that important. It is very important because, one, it's going to keep you full, so that therefore you don't want to snack a lot. So let's say at 12 o'clock at lunchtime you have 40 grams of protein or like 30 grams of protein or whatever, then that's probably going to keep you full until dinner time. Also, not only is it going to keep you full, but it's going to help your muscles recover if you're doing workouts, which is very, very important. The next thing that I want to talk about is strength training. This is absolutely amazing for transforming your body. I mean, it has to be, next to like changing your diet, it has to be one of the best things that you can do. A lot of people think that if you lift weights that you can become bulky, which is not true at all. And I feel like I have to mention this because there are so many girls that don't want to lift weights, or who are missing out on their body getting even better because they're scared of becoming bulky. And I just want to say that I have been lifting weights for about 5 months, and obviously I'm not bulky because the only way to become bulky when lifting weights is if you do a calorie surplus, which is basically where you eat more calories than your maintenance. So let's say, for example, your maintenance is 2,000. Well, if you want to become bulky, then you will do the calorie surplus, which is basically where, like I said, let's say my maintenance is 2,000, then for calorie surplus, I might go up to like 2,500. Also, strength training is really important because it's going to help you build some muscle, which is going to tone you, and you can't tone up without muscle. So strength training is going to give you that muscle. And I've noticed with a lot of people that they lose the weight and then they become skinny fat. So if you feel like you're skinny fat and you want to change that, I really recommend to strength train because it's going to just tone you up and give you some muscle. The third thing that I want to talk about is working your core. This is really underrated actually, and I don't see a lot of people talk about this, but training core has probably been one of the best things I've done. And I think it's one of the best things that I've done because when you train core, then basically you are training your core muscles to be stronger, which therefore will give you abs. So that has worked really, really well for me. I've tried a lot of, different ab exercises and waist exercises, but core has always worked the best for me. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is that sometimes people can underestimate their body fat percentage or think that they need to lose weight or think that they're fat, when in reality, sometimes, not always, sometimes you're just bloated. Now, I used to be like this. I used to think that I had like a big belly because like I thought that like I needed to lose weight and then my belly would get smaller. But in reality, I was just bloated. So basically what I did about that was there are many, many different things that can cause a bloating. So I basically just searched up what can cause a bloating. And then I went like through the list. Like I don't remember what all of them are. But one of the things is like if you eat too fast. So I thought about like, do I eat too fast? And I was like, you know what, I kind of do. Or, being constipated, or if you eat unhealthy stuff, or, there's a lot of different things that can really cause bloating. But I really recommend to, if you're bloated, to try and fix that, because obviously it's not good to be bloated. Then again, if you go from being really bloated to no bloat at all, it'll really change the way that you look. Like, your belly could become flat, like, if you're not bloated anymore. So I highly recommend to do that, because you could have a flat stomach under there for all you know. Like, that's how I used to be. I used to be bloated all the time, and then whenever I stopped being as bloated, whenever I found the cause, I was like, wow, like my belly really isn't that big. The last thing that I want to talk about, I know that I've said a lot of these things are the most important, but this is the most important. Like, next to diet, this is the most important. The last thing that I want to talk about is recovery. So basically this is especially important if you strength train, but it's important anyways. So recovery basically means getting enough sleep, letting your muscles recover. And the reason that this is important is because let's say you strength train and then you only get like 5 hours of sleep. Well, then you could be doing the best workout, the best diet, whatever, but if you're not getting enough sleep, like you're getting 5 hours of sleep, like I just said, then your muscles cannot recover, and then you'll just have an injury, or, your muscles won't be able to grow, because a lot of people think your muscles grow in the gym, but actually they grow when you rest, when you have rest days, and when you recover. So for me, I have 1 to 2 rest days a week. This is really what I recommend to do, because when you have 1 to 2 rest days a week, you still have enough days a week to do all of the workouts to target all the muscles. But those 1 to 2 days are perfect, and they are enough to let your muscles recover. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really hope that this helps somebody if you're wondering about, what workouts to do, or really anything. And yeah, my other social medias are in the description below.